Hi guys, back again. I decided that I was just going to continue the next vlog for the same night because it would be a lot easier than wait until in the morning and start talking then on the camera, because I'd want to start talking about tomorrow, about everyday stuff. So basically these vlogs are just catching up to what's happening with me now. So, this one is basically hospital, being in hospital and being with the band. I got asked if I was breastfeeding or bottle feeding when I went to Skaboo, which is the special care baby unit. And I was like, I'm breastfeeding. There's no doubt about it. I want to do that because my sister's done it. Now that right here, they took me in to see Levi, and he was laid in the incubator. And it was just, wow. I've brought him into the world. I've actually done it. And they let me hold him. And I'm like, this is so weird. And that night, after my partner got sent home, when I went to see him, when I held him, I was allowed to try and breastfeed. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And he latched on straight away. No problems whatsoever. There was no problems with Levi. It was just his temperature and his weight. That was all that was wrong with him. So I held him, breastfed him, and then I felt really tired after feeding him. So I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, can you have someone to come and get me and take me back down to the ward? I said, I did. I went back in a wheelchair because obviously I wasn't allowed to walk far at the moment. They took me down and I barely slept, to be honest. It was just the whole, I know there's women here on this ward that are with their babies, are able to actually get up and hold their baby straight away, and I can't. But I was coping. And then the next day I got asked if I was going to try and get breast milk out of myself. I had help with a really nice nurse. She helped me through it. At first it was like tiny little bits, and then after a few days, they don't recommend this, but I had to start pumping myself. I had to start using a pump because I was creating too much already. It's like, does that mean if I'd gone full term, I would have had too much milk? So they got me a pump. I was taking a load of milk down. It's like every time about 2 ounces roughly. And then after 5 days I went home. They sent me home without my child. He was still on Skaboo. He was getting better. He came out the incubator. He was going into a cot. It was a heating mattress though. Hello. I'm being stared at. But it was a heating mattress, and I'm getting stared at constantly right now. But heating mattress, and but just stop doing that while I'm talking. They turned the temperature on every day. Some days it was stayed at the same temperature though. But I'd been home for 2 days and they said, right, we're going to have to bring you back in. You need to come back in. He's now wanting to be fed. He's waking up for a feed. So I'm like, right, yo, I can come back in. I'll come back in. I don't mind. And we were there for a matter of Well, I was there for a matter of 6 days with Levi. He'd gotten yellow jaundice, which is quite normal. He had it in the incubator, and they used the light, and then it came back, and basically he had to be a glowworm. He was actually a glowworm, because they couldn't use the overhead light anymore because he wasn't an incubator, and he was wearing clothes. So they put the light up his vest against his skin, I think. Or was it up his sleep suit? No, it was up his sleep suit. No, it wasn't. It was up his vest, and it was against his skin on his back. And I was having to feed him as well. And they were trying to get him up to every 3 hours for a feed, which I was able to do. For the first few days it was just me on my own feeding him, and then Ross was allowed to actually come in the hospital again because he'd been ill for about a week with this bug. Oh no, that was after. The 3 weeks was after. He was ill for a week. We don't know what it was, but then he was able to stop in the hospital with us. And he woke up when I did at times. Actually, most of the time, because we were having to change the man's diaper together at the time, because I was still unsure. Yes, I've got nieces and nephews, but I'd only started changing diapers a month before Levi came. And that was my youngest nephew. I was only just starting to change his bum. I could do wheeze like before then, but I finally started changing dirty nappies, and it was just weird. But I was able to do it without throwing up. So yeah, about 3-4 days after, they checked Levi's yellow jaundice again, and it had gone down to a point where he could go home. So happy, he was at a healthy weight, he could go home. He was feeding every 3 hours, sometimes 4. And it was just, right, you can go home, we'll get him checked over, and check his reflexes, and all that. And we went home. My partner couldn't come home with me, because my mum wanted at least a day or two, just me and her, and the van. Because she had no time with me at all, really. And then my partner became ill again for 3 weeks. He couldn't see Levi for 3 weeks. It was just, we didn't know what was wrong. The doctors didn't even know what was wrong. They think it was just a virus. That's all they put it down to. And then it wasn't Ebola. And then health visitor came out, and she asked how many hours between feeds. Checked his weight. How many hours between feeds? And I'm like, 3, 4, depends if he's tired or not. She went, no, you can't be doing that. You can't do that. He's breastfed. He's meant to be every 2 hours. And I'm like, I'd got him to 3. She went, no, he's breastfed. He's got to be fed every 2 hours. So I'm like, right here. So I did what she said. Stupid thing to do, like. I think he's waking up. But yeah, stupid thing to do. Follow what the health visitor said. Because my breasts were no longer filling up enough. I know. I'll go back to sleep. But my breasts were no longer filling up enough for him. I got it to 3-4 hours, and they were filling up perfectly. Went back down to 2. Wasn't enough. I wasn't producing enough. Oh, Papa. I wasn't producing enough. So, he's just like, what's going on, Mum? And then when he was 6 weeks old, I just went, no more. I can't take it. I burst into tears. I took the bear next door and handed the bear to my mum, because she was at my auntie's. I went, no, I can't. Gave the bear, went back home and just cried. And they're going, I can't do it, he's going to have to be bottle fed. I was giving him top-ups already, but it's just, I couldn't do it no more. I wanted to do it longer, but I just couldn't. If I'd stuck to my guns, I probably would have been able to do it longer, but I couldn't. I've just done. That's all thanks to the health visitor. Even the hospital said get him to 3 to 4 hours. And that means you're getting a decent amount of sleep. Even one night my mum had to take the bairn, because the bairn was constantly on my boob. And she came up when she believed the bairn needed a feed. And she went, right, you got to wake up, feed the bairn. And I took him back downstairs. I went, right, your man, thanks. So yeah, I went through a hard time. I still do. And then we were back and forth from each other's houses, me and my partner with the bairn, because we had no home still. It was just crazy. We were getting stuff for a house. Oh, no, we had got a house. We just couldn't move in. It was unlivable. There was loads of work needed doing. And it was about a month ago, wasn't it? Over a month ago? The house was livable. We could move in. And we did. And the day we actually moved in, my mum wasn't letting me take my dog, which was understandable because she was going to be in the house on her own. So we'd been looking for a dog anyway. And we got Jenna. And we got told she had anxiety. And before she was 6 months old, she was beaten with a cane with her very first owner. And then with the second owner, they were trying to get her out of that. Trying to get used to it. Getting used to, like, being a normal dog, playing. And usually, when she meets new people, according to her last owner, she barks, but she didn't bark at us when we met her. And she's perfectly fine with us. We found that it's tall, dominant people she hates. She hates hoodies, like when the hood's actually up. Which is understandable if she was beaten by someone like that. But she's still a baby to us. She's just over a year old. She's just over a year old and she's lovely. She'd only been around a child that was, I think, 5. And the last owners were like, message us and tell us what she's like with the den and everything. And she's been no problem. Yeah, a few accidents in the house on a night, but that was it. Oh, and she doesn't like going out in the rain. The joys. But he's teething. So yeah, and now, we're sort of settled in. There's still 2 rooms to do in this house, and it's not really a room. The hallway, and the Ben's room, which he won't need until, I don't know, whenever I decide to let him have his room. Because honestly, I like having him in the bedroom with me, because I know he's there. It's like, if someone takes the Ben out of the bedroom, and they tell me to go back to sleep, it takes me a while. Otherwise I say, no, I can't, the Ben's downstairs, I've got to be downstairs. It's mother instinct. So, yeah, and now it still feels weird, like being in a new home. Yes, I've been away living at uni. I was at uni for a year and a little bit. And I was away from my mum. Yeah, my mum's only across the road here. But it's hard for Ross. He's never been away from his mum for too long. And yes, his mum's only in the next town, but it's still hard because he's used to having his mum and dad there. And I try and help him out as much as I can. Most of the time he's on his computer, which it helps. It does help. I can understand. Time with the bed. Can't complain about that, even though I do. But that's a woman's thing. That's me being womanistic, whatever you want to call it, sexist. And I don't know. We're gonna study nicely to go make your bottle. And now I've gone through a stage of my depression's caught up with me. I've been suffering. I'd been suffering with depression since my dad died. So 12 years of depression and having no help was hard. But during the tell you in a minute. But it is. I finally gotten help after I had the thing because I said, I'm suffering. I can't take it anymore. And I got to see a counsellor. And it helped. I got over the grieving stage. I'm still grieving. 12 years later and I'm still grieving. And I don't know. It's just, it's there. It's constantly there. It's always going to be there, I'm guessing. But now I'm on medication, which is fine. And it's something I've just got to live with. And then along with that, I have tendinitis in my ankle, so I can't really do much. Walking I struggle with. I normally have to push the pushchair, and if not that, I'm either limping or I have a crutch. And I've had tendinitis for a year now. Maybe over a year. Yeah, it'd be over a year. I've had tendinitis and it won't disappear. I've got it for life now. It's been over a year, so it won't go. I have like permanent damage. So yeah. Life's become that way. I'll keep a smile on my face. I always do, well, most of the time, if I'm not tired. But being a new mum and living with my partner, it's different. And now that Levi's coming up to 19 weeks, and he starts sitting up, standing up, which is kind of strange with him being so young and premature, gonna get a lot harder because soon he'll be crawling and getting in my way. I think he's gone back to sleep, or he's debating it. Yeah. So if people say pregnancy's easy, you get the glow, life's easy, no, it's not. It's far from easy. I'd rather be real about something than put on a brave face and say, well, this was perfectly fine. Because honestly, it's not. It's like yesterday, I got a day off from having Levi. He was with Ross's mum. And she had to bring him home 2 hours early. Because his gums were killing him. It was that much pain. Like now. And he needs a bottle. But it was like, right now. she had to bring him home at 4 because he just couldn't take it anymore. He just, nah. And all we had until about 10 last night, 10, 11 o'clock last night, was screaming. Apart from when he was having his bottle, then he was quiet. But most of the other time, he screamed. But I got him to sleep. He slept quite a long time. He seems to wake up every time at like 4:30 though. But he'll go back to sleep. And then he won't wake up again until 7 o'clock. Which is really good for a baby. And honestly, I love him to bits. I love my partner to bits. And there's nothing else I can say about that. Just they get put first now. So, yeah. So, that's the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. And probably another one up either tomorrow or at the end of the week. Because I'll either start doing it daily. Or 3 daily, like, you know, where you wait 3 days and then put another one up. Or weekly. So, yeah. If you've got any questions, ask away. So, bye.